Well, hey, this is Reverend Sean over at the Center Path, and I'm starting here with where I started. Right, I'm talking about how to start in Buddhism, and people want to know where I started, how I got into it. Well, it happened a long time ago. I began in the '70s. I was watching a show called Kung Fu with David Carradine, if you remember that, and Bruce Lee was really he was super popular. All things kind of like this is the days when Ultraman was kind of hip as well. So that was from Japan and samurai things and Akira Kurosawa and those kind of things. I really took to that as a kid. Had no access to it. I grew up in the mountains. So I had no access to anything like that until I got into university, where I went to Cal Poly Pomona. If anybody went out there, shout out to that. And I started with learning a little bit through the library about Buddhism and even Alan Watts and D.T. Suzuki and some other stuff that was just kind of like starting. There was Cleary, I think it was, with the 3 pillars of Zen and those kind of things. Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance. Those were all beginning things. And one day after college, I started to stress out a little bit. Well, during college, actually, I stressed out and started getting into meditation. I was really into meditation for a short time, mostly guided meditation. It was called guided imagery or self-hypnosis at the time. So it was still weird, like me, and that's the way it was. And one day after all of that, I was living in the wonderful city of Pasadena, California, and ended up going to a bookstore called Alexandria 2, if anybody remembers that from the old days. And there was a flyer that said, Rosemead Buddhist Monastery, Introduction to Buddhist Meditation, Sunday, $25, includes lunch, which I thought was great. It was a full-day retreat. So I went to that, and that's where I met my teacher. He became my teacher, actually, is a Venerable Chao Chu of the Rosemead Buddhist Monastery. And then who are guys who are now my Dharma brothers is Dhammaruchi and Dhammajoti, which is Sam and Monty, with their actual English names, but we started naming difference. I started hanging out at the temple more and more, became interested, started helping out with some things at the temple, so I volunteered. And at first it was just sweeping, cleaning up, helping doing paperwork, translating bad English into better English, I suppose. And then a couple events occurred. 9/11 happened, and I would spend time at the temple trying to protect basically brown people from people who were ignorant. That's a whole story I'll tell you later. And then went back there again and again, started a program which I called Tuesdays with Bhante. Bhante was the teacher. And we would sit down and we'd write articles. And I would do a lot of study and a lot of meditation. I'd work in the meditation groups. And then the Sri Lankan, the tsunami, which hit Sri Lanka in 2005, end of 2005, early 2006. And I ended up going to Sri Lanka and helping out there and seeing all the good work that a lot of the monks did, and decided that's what I really would like to do. So I started working with them, eventually did a lot of training with the monks, and became a Buddhist minister in 2006. Since then, I've been traveling, went and had a regular old life, had a lot of, got married a couple times, had a bunch of jobs, worked as a healthcare provider in California and then again in Colorado. Became a meditation instructor and mindfulness instructor. Had Dharma classes at my office, and had a pretty big group at one time. I would travel overseas for the United Nations Day of Vesak, which is a large celebration of Vesak, which is the most popular holiday in Buddhism. It's a day when the Buddha it celebrates the birth, the enlightenment, and the parinirvana, or death of the Buddha, the person. And it's held all over, and different places in the world. I've been actually to Sri Lanka for it. I've been to Thailand a number of times, and I've been to North and South Vietnam to study those. I've also studied a little bit in Japan, and that's about all the places I've studied other than the United States. Done a lot of presentations in those places as well. I present almost every year I can on something. Recently I've been practicing, or actually presenting, on mindful mental health, which is, if you can see, like right there is my book that I wrote, is called Mindful Mental Health. and it's about adding mindfulness and meditation for mental health. I'm a healthcare provider in the mental health world. I work at a psychiatric hospital and work at recovery centers. I help people in, people who are suffering. That's kind of my job. And that's what I like to do. So I've been doing that for these many years. This channel's been around for a while, and it's a challenge to get me to get off my butt and post videos. But here I am, starting to post again, and hopefully you'll go down right here and subscribe, or maybe watch the other video over on this side, or whatever. Yeah, right there. And don't forget to go to the bottom right about here, and you can comment and leave me questions. I need ideas, and I just did a whole series, or I'm doing a whole series on how to become a Buddhist, and I've done a couple question and answers. So that's where this one's going, and we didn't want to go too long, just 5 minutes, 6 minutes, or something like that. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Take good care of yourself, and we'll see you later.